How's it going, guys? So as you saw in the last video, this jet ski over here, the one that's currently registered that I ride every year, is good to go. She fired up and she's pretty much ready to rip. So now all the focus jet ski wise is going to be on this ski and finishing up this trailer. So I still haven't put this ski on the trailer yet, just because it's kind of a two-person job and I haven't felt like bothering my dad to help me, and I haven't had any friends over in a while. I've just been busy with work. So in the meanwhile, I've been gathering parts for this ski right here. And in the mail, I just got new grips, got some ODI. I think they're 120 millimeter. Nope, they're 120 millimeter length. Got a starter. It's pretty rough, but it's from a part out. Some guy on Marketplace, so I'm gonna clean it up, test it, and see if it works. 25-foot roll of, I believe, quarter-inch ID fuel line, and then 2 new fuel filters for both of these skis. So yeah, that's gonna get me started, and that's probably the first few things I'll do to this ski right here, in between working on the trailer and whatnot. So that's the plan. Gonna probably toss the grips on right now because I'm excited to see what they're gonna look like, and maybe I'll start cleaning up the starter, who knows. But that's it for right now for this intro, and we'll get to some jet ski stuff, so let's get after it. The grips are 100% installed. They look pretty sweet. We'll see if this little, I don't know, flap or whatever gets in the way of the throttle. Usually that last little bit is nothing. It doesn't actually open the carb anymore. That last like quarter to half inch. So I don't think it'll be a big deal, but they look sweet. Like it. I'm gonna paint this, the gas cap and the oil cap black probably too. I'm gonna try to go with the black theme on this ski, whereas this one I got the blue camo turf and the purple grips to match this purple, and this seat was recovered so it's not the OEM color. So this one I'm just gonna go black hydro turf, black grips, black caps, probably a black seat cover as well, so see how that looks. But next item on the agenda is to clean up the starter and throw it in there, so that is what I'm gonna get to next. All right, good morning. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I figured this would be a good place to start this video off, so I just went for a coffee run in the Mazda, and I just got back. She is doing pretty good. Not much has changed since what you guys have seen on the channel, but it's been nice just being able to enjoy this thing for a little bit before I do something major to it. And everything's holding up pretty well so far, so I'm very happy with it, and I love the reactions and looks thumbs up and comments that I get about this thing when I'm out and about in town, so it's just really fun. Don't get that from my other vehicles, obviously, because they're not as unique and colorful. So on another note, today going to be starting major work on the project jet ski. So basically I need to overhaul the entire fuel system. Before I do that, what that entails is replacing all the fuel lines, rebuilding the carbs, cleaning them out. I have fuel line right here, new fuel filters, I gotta get some hose clamps, yada yada. But before I do anything like that, what I want to do is siphon this tank out, because I have no clue how long that gas has been in there. Definitely a couple years, so no point in starting with fresh clean everything if there's still 2/3 of a tank of gross gas. So I went and grabbed my grandfather's rig here. He has like a little electric fuel pump, you'll see it down there, and a bunch of different hoses and stuff. So I gotta get this out, sort through it, get this battery out, and get that set up. So that's what we're gonna be up to in the beginning of today's video. So stay tuned for that. Gonna be finally getting down and dirty with the ski and hopefully bringing her back to life for real. So exciting stuff, and we'll catch you on the flip side. So we got this all set up. What we have here is a 12-volt electric inline fuel pump, just some fuel line connected to the inlet and outlet of it. In the inlet I have this reducer going to the bottom of the tank. This one just wasn't really sucking it well enough. And then got an old empty oil bucket here. I'm gonna put the bad gas in. I have the leads hooked up to a booster pack here, a jumper pack, and when I flip the switch, she's gonna start pumping. There we go, and there's fuel. So this is gonna take a while. It's I think it's a 1/4-inch ID hose, so I got about, I don't know, 8 or 10 gallons left in the tank to pump out. So I'm not gonna let you guys, or make you guys watch this, but just wanted to show you my setup because it's pretty neat and a lot easier than like a hand pump siphon or something like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna pump all this gas out, see how clean I can get the tank, and we'll go from there. So I got the tank pretty much emptied. I was able to take about 9 gallons through the filler neck here. And then it was much easier to take the rest by just taking off the filler neck and sticking it right into the tank. I took out probably another 2 to 2.5 gallons that way, and it's almost empty. It just wouldn't pick up the last little bit, it wouldn't keep prime. So I think that will be fine to just mix in. I'm glad that I got like, what is that, 11 or so gallons out of it. But definitely much better than it was. So the next thing I'm gonna do is take off this filter housing right here. It's tightening for the fuel filter. And I'm gonna clean it out and then install the new filter and disconnect those 2 lines right there. So yeah, moving right along. Quick little update for you guys. So I got the fuel filter in and the housing cleaned up, and I also did that one, so that's all set. I got the filler neck back on, which just beat me up. It's somewhat tricky, but finally got it. And then I took these to the what is it, the feed and return, I guess, for the filter. I took those lines off and labeled them, so that way there's no chance that filter could ever get dirty, no matter what. Well, until it runs on fresh gas, but I mean from this old gas that I'm trying to completely eradicate from the machine. So that's where we're at. The next step is really to just start replacing these fuel lines one by one. So that's probably what I'll do next. I don't know how far I'll get today. I'm pretty tired, or I'm pretty tired, and it's tiring as a whole. Just working in such confined spaces gets frustrating after a while, but that's where we're at. Just wanted to show you guys that step because it's definitely important for going through this fuel system. And yeah, I'm just gonna start replacing lines. So I'm going a little slow here, but I just yanked out the first line that I'm gonna replace. This one comes out of the fuel filter here and then goes to this bottom nipple on the carb right there. So I'm gonna replace that one. I'm gonna cut it to size and put the hose clamps on and whatnot. What's going on, guys? I'm just gonna throw this clip in here because it's worth noting. So I just took this old temp sensor out of the ski right here. It was just screwed into the block in that hole. And as you can see, someone soldered it at one point, so it must have been giving them problems. I have this brand new one that I just got in the mail, and I'm gonna install it real quick and simple. Just screw it in and put the little thing on the prong right there. So I'm gonna do that, and we'll check that item off the list. What's going on, guys? So this week I wasn't able to get as much free time as I had hoped for to work on the GSX, but here I am. It's the end of the day on Sunday and I'm gonna do a few things, but I wanted to give you guys an update on a couple things that I left out in the last clip of this video. So as you saw, I put the grips on, and you also saw me put the temp sensor on just now. But I forgot to mention that I took this off and painted it, the rear handle, as well as the oil and gas cap over here, as I had mentioned. But I didn't film any of that because it's very simple. And one other thing that I did and forgot to give you guys an update on is I actually finished up the starter. I basically used a wire brush and fine grit sandpaper and cleaned the entire thing up, all the gears, the Bendix, as much as I could reach. Taped it all off, gave it a coat of paint, and then I stuck it in there. Right now I only have one bolt holding it in, that top bolt right there. Because I need to get a true Allen bolt for the bottom side. As you can tell, that's not an Allen head, that's a hex head. It's the proper threads and everything. I just got them at AutoZone, but I can barely get a socket on that one because it rubs on the case right here. So I will not be able to get that style bolt on the bottom side because you have to do it blindly. And that being said, you even have to use one of these little guys, which is all rusty from being rained on, or an Allen like this, which is also rusty. It has a rounded head, so you don't have to go straight in. You can go at an angle, but still turn the Allen. So that's the secret for putting in and taking out a starter on these jet skis. It's definitely annoying to do it first, but I've taken a starter in and out of this thing so many times that it's like second nature now. So yeah, that's the updates on that stuff. The starter, let's see, the wire is on, power wire, and it goes to the e-box and then from the e-box to the battery. So that part is all set. But on this ski, unlike that one, someone moved the ground on that one to this hole, which I like a lot better, but I don't have a bolt that threads into that. So I have to get that and obviously sand this down so it's clean metal to get a good ground. But I don't like it mounted on the starter. There's another ear on the starter right here, a third one in the middle, and it's kind of set back. That's meant to be the ground, but I think that I'm safer with putting it here. That's what it is on that ski, so I know it will work. And yeah, so I'm gonna eliminate that. That's for the future. Like I said, I gotta get the right size bolt, and that'll be all set. So my plan for today is to continue picking away at this fuel system. I'm gonna start by taking off the fuel selector valve, see how gunked up that is, and then see what fuel lines I feel like wiggling into and out of up here. Basically, you can't see it all. You guys might be able to see better than I, just because it's so difficult to actually see what you're doing, but all of the fuel lines that have to be changed are mainly right up under here, so not an easy job, but that's what I'm gonna start doing. And I may or may not take off the carburetor tonight. We'll see how I'm feeling, but that's the next step really, is to take that thing off, rebuild it, and then put it back in with freshly rebuilt and new fuel lines on it and the whole nine. So that's the update for the GSX. I'm gonna start picking away at some more fuel lines and we'll get after it. That's a problem, for sure. The little Phillips head screw holding this thing on is completely frozen and it's starting to strip. This is definitely the right size Phillips head. No, I'm just stripping the bolt more. Well, not gonna deal with that today. On to something else. Another quick little update. As you guys saw, this screw holding in the fuel selector. Actually, you can get a look at it right there. Super corroded or just stuck. So I'm gonna have to deal with that at another time. Figure out a different way to get it off, probably destroy it and have to get a new one. That's all right. Probably need a new one anyway. In the meantime, I went ahead and cut this oil line right here, the top smaller one. This bottom one goes to the block and keeps oil in the bottom end, so that has to stay. And the oil tank or reservoir has to be filled with oil, so that way the bottom end stays lubricated. But this one feeds the oil pump right here. And I'm going premix, just like the other ski, so this one is no longer needed. I just put a bolt in it and a stainless steel hose clamp right there. And I'm gonna work on taking off this cable, which goes to the oil pump from the carburetor right here, because I need to take it off to remove the oil pump as well as the carburetor. So I'm gonna start there, take it off on that end, maybe even just leave it on that end, we'll see. And then probably work on getting the choke and throttle cable disconnected, and then I can pull this carb out of here theoretically. So that's the plan. All right, so we got the lines all off of the carb. Fuel line, fuel line, fuel line. Choke actually still connected. I gotta flip it upside down. Throttle disconnected and oil cable disconnected. They went to the pump. I have the Allens loose, and we're gonna see if she'll come out of here. So that was a success. Right here, we have a dual carburetor. This is the intake side. This right here is the top. As you can see, she's quite crusty. This is the motor side. Yeah. So we're gonna try and figure out how to rebuild this thing in these upcoming weeks. This is how the ski's looking. So much room. Got some stuff to figure out, but got this oil line capped as you saw. I don't know if you can really tell, but for the oil injection, it actually just squirts the oil into the cylinder right here. So I got to get rid of those lines and cap those 90s. I'm pretty happy where I got so far today, just in 2 hours or so, probably less. Got the carbs off, got a few more things done with the fuel system. So that's gonna be a wrap for today. In the next video, I'll probably, or I don't know if it'll be the next video or this video, we'll see. But I'm just gonna keep going through this fuel system, replace some more lines, and start figuring out this carburetor rebuild, and also deal with the oil pump deletion and block off. So that's the plan. Hope you guys are enjoying this series. Still a lot more to do to get this ski up and running, but it's exciting. So yeah, gonna pick back up on it in a few days from now.